Well, we always look forward to Friday on the Bruce Hooley Show because we love our weekends, and we know you love yours as well. But this is a much greater time to celebrate the weekend in that we do not have to contemplate what a Kamala Harris presidency will do to the United States of America. Yes, too soon to stop celebrating the victory of Donald Trump, the landslide victory of Donald Trump in the Electoral College and in the popular vote. And so we will continue to do that today. Now, we talked about before the election how all the polls were jammed 50-50. Nobody really wanted to go out on a limb. I read you one prediction. A guy was like, Trump's going to win. But there were few people who were willing to go out on a limb and really say what was going to happen. But I did miss the searing pre-election analysis of a guy named Rick Wilson of the Lincoln Project. And I will play that for you. I will play that for you today at 11:30. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You say, who's Rick Wilson? Well, I'll reintroduce you to Rick Wilson today at 11:35. And then I shared with you the other day that I have over who she isn't, which is a capable leader. And I thought it'd be a shame to just let her exit the political stage, because I doubt we're going to hear much from her until she certifies the election in Congress just after the first of the year. I thought it'd be a shame to have all that audio in there and not compile it in a way so that you could hear it, so that it might refresh in your mind what I've been encouraging you to do since Wednesday's show, which is continue to pray and thank God for protecting our country from what could have been. When you hear this compilation of audio, it's about 6 minutes. No, it doesn't contain everything that I had. It's about 6 minutes. I think you will go, whatever I'm doing right now, I'm getting on my knees and I'm thanking the Lord. Now, in all seriousness, and actually I'm serious there. In all seriousness, if you prayed for peace before the election, do not let these days go by without recognizing that Donald Trump won the election. He won it decisively, so decisively, electorally and in the popular vote, that we have not had what I would have, not literally because I don't bet, but figuratively would have bet my house on if you had told me Donald Trump was going to win the election. We have not had riots and unrest in the United States of America since the results of the election came in. And I know if you're a Democrat, you're going, oh, we don't do that. No, you do that. You do it more than Republicans do it. Trump supporters did it on January 6th. I said that day, that hour, they were out of line to storm the Capitol. But it is their place. They just didn't go in the orderly fashion they needed to. And I told you then that Democrats would use it against them, and they have, and they've magnified it and completely lied about it, which is sort of their brand. But I thought we'd have rioting, the likes of which we've had in what? Occupy Wall Street, Chaz Chop in Seattle, George Floyd riots, Ferguson riots. Democrats are the party of rioting and petulance when they don't get their way. And so the only explanation I have for the fact that we haven't had that since the wee hours of Wednesday morning. I know there was a dust up in Seattle, and there's probably been some around the country that I haven't taken note of. But I thought we'd have widespread rioting. So I know at my church on Sunday morning, there were a bunch of us who gathered for prayer, and we were praying for peace for our country. We weren't praying for a Donald Trump win, although I think probably most of the people in that room, if not all the people in that room, wanted that. But you have to remember the need for bathing our nation in prayer does not end now that Donald Trump is president. I've said this before. Donald Trump is not your savior. He might be America's savior, but he's not your savior. So give thanks to the true savior in your life, who, it appears looking back, steered this election with his divine hand. I know that'll upset Democrats, which I don't care. Now, In local news today, I'm very sorry if you were caught in what was, I assume, a major traffic hassle over on 270, because we had a shooting Friday morning at 2:10 a.m. Over near Blendon Township. People who were using Sunbury Road, 161 westbound, coming in. They closed the 161 west to both 270 south and north. What a mess that had to be. Preventing drivers from accessing either direction at 270. But fret not. I'm reading here on the WSYX Channel 6 website. The closure is expected to last through the morning, and the Ohio Department of Transportation is developing a plan to manage any commuting delays. Oh, goody. We have the experts on the case from the Ohio Department of Transportation. That'll really work well. It appears I was wrong when I thought that the only thing you needed on your resume to succeed as a member of the upper management of the Columbus Police Department would be that you previously worked in the Detroit Police Department. But it does appear now that some levels of incompetence, not those displayed by Elaine Bryant and LaShawna Potts, but some levels of incompetence cannot be tolerated in the city of Columbus. Jennifer Watson, who joined the department on January the 2nd of this year as a public relations advisor for Chief Elaine Bryant, who came from Detroit, as did LaShawna Potts, as did the Inspector General, whose name I don't remember because they're insignificant and unable to really affect much improvement in the law enforcement or in the criminality problem that we have in Columbus. Jennifer Watson, the PR person hired, the second one hired to take over for Elaine Bryant, was terminated Monday. That means fired. And they had to do it before the first of the year. Otherwise, she would be past her probationary period, and then there could be nothing they could do about what appears to be her chronic laziness. The termination report, according to the dispatch, says the employee failed to meet work and performance expectations. What was she being paid per hour? $58 an hour for a 40-hour work week, an annual salary of $120,640, which is, of course, considerably more than any of the officers on the street who take their life into their hands every day and go out on the street to protect you. So, sayonara, Jennifer Watson, and maybe there'll be somebody else that you worked with previously in Detroit who will give you a hand up and unquestionably a hand out. Now, I've heard some funny things said over the past couple of days. The funniest thing I've heard so far is at this hour yesterday, we were playing live comments from Joe Biden at the White House, Rose Garden. And I said at the time, boy, he sure looks happy, doesn't he? Doesn't Joe Biden look happy? He not only looked happy, he looked awake and full of vim and vigor. They obviously have been pumping him full of who knows what kind of a cocktail to keep him upright, shuffling around the White House, kind of like the old Tim Conway character in the Carol Burnett show. Sorry for the dated reference, but that's what Biden reminds me of when he walks around. But Joe yesterday, man, he looked sharp and he looked happy. He looked really happy, which is odd because throughout most of the last at least year, probably 2 years, ever since Donald Trump announced he was going to run for re-election, Joe Biden portrayed Donald Trump as a threat to democracy, a fascist, extremist. And now he's invited Donald Trump to the White House for a meal, for lunch, or just sit down, which it appears Joe Biden has reached an incredible peace with having Hitler take over America, which I didn't see coming. Joe Biden doesn't appear to be worried about any of the things that he told us we all had to worry about prior to Trump being reelected. But I said the funniest thing I've heard, and I think it was Jesse Waters. I like to give credit where credit was due. I'm not sure if it was Jesse Waters, but I think it was Jesse Waters who said Biden looked so happy yesterday at the White House that he looked like a guy who had just been bumped from an airline flight that crashed on takeoff. That is how happy Joe Biden looked yesterday. Because while his legislative accomplishments are almost non-existent over a half a century in government, and while he has profited millions, which is something he should have been prosecuted for, along with his son and brother and others, Joe Biden will forever have the ability to dunk on Kamala Harris as the only, and Hillary Clinton, as the only person to beat Donald Trump.
For the afternoon, the high today 64, clear tonight low 41, some sun then increasing cloudiness. Nice afternoon for some football tomorrow, the high Saturday at 59. Periods of rain Saturday night low 50, and then rain on Sunday, the high at 63. Partly sunny for Monday, high Monday at 59. And then Tuesday, times of clouds and sun, a little bit cooler, high 55. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
He's like the Eli Manning.
Hi, this is Ralph Erlinger, the founder and president of Capital Ministries. I have the privilege of leading the Senate and House member Bible studies in Washington, D.C. every week. And I'm also the host of the new weekly radio program heard here on this station called Capital Ministries Weekend. I invite you to listen along every week as we discuss the crossroads between what the Bible says and political thought for today.
Listen to Capital Ministries Weekend, Sunday mornings at 7:30 on 98.9 FM The Answer. Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. The firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
ProView Remodeling, Ohio's #1 choice in sunroofs, windows, doors, decks, siding, patios, porches, basements, and bathroom remodels. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 25% off or 60 months, 0 interest. That's right, 60 months, 0 interest. Call or text 7 days a week, 614-756-3140. You win with ProView Remodeling, 614-756-3140. Check us out at ProViewRemodeling.com.
Are you ready to lose weight but not sure where to start? Let me tell you why I chose a PhD weight loss and nutrition. First, Dr. Ashley Lucas has her PhD in chronic disease and sports nutrition. The program is science-based. The PhD program starts with nutrition, but is so much more. They know that 90% of permanent change comes from the mind, and they work on eliminating the reason you gained this weight in the first place. There are no shortcuts, no pills, no scary injections, just solid science-based nutrition and behavior change. And finally, I lost 42 pounds and I haven't gained a pound back. PhD has a lifelong maintenance plan. If you are ready to lose weight for the last time, call 864-644-1900 to get started. Or online at myphdweightloss.com. Do what I did, what hundreds of my listeners have done. Call today. That's 865-644-1900.
Attention patriots and all who love freedom. Are you ready to embark on an unforgettable adventure? Journey with me, Mike Gallagher, along with Larry Elder, Dennis Prager, our special guests, Joe Piscopo and Jennifer Horn on the Patriots Alaska Cruise, August of 2025. This experience is more than a vacation. It's a chance to participate in profound discussions and spirited debates with like-minded patriots. 7 action-packed days surrounded by the wonder and majesty and beauty of Alaska's rustic landscapes. Gain profound insights as you're immersed in the splendor of glaciers and fjords. And right now, it's a great time to buy a cruise as a holiday gift. You got to book through us to have access to all our events. So don't wait. Visit travelwithsalem.com. Travelwithsalem.com. Mark your calendars, August 16th through the 23rd, 2025. Secure your spot on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure by calling 855-565-5519, 855-565-5519, or online, travelwithsalem.com.
Well, I met some happy customers this week. Yes, you better believe it. Ellen and Bill yesterday, very happy. Paul, very happy last night. And Bob and Jeannie, very happy. All Trump supporters and all supporters of getting at least an estimate on new flooring from BruceHooley.com. All of them have done it. It has been a pleasure to serve them, and it would be a pleasure to serve you, because we don't just talk about carpet and flooring and maybe luxury vinyl plank flooring when I come to your home and measure your space. We talk about the things that I discuss here on the show, and we talk about faith, and we talk about the things that are precious to people who treasure and prize the foundations of America. So I'd love to meet you. I'd love to help you. I'd love to serve you. And if you have a need for flooring, you'd like to get it in before the holidays, or maybe take a longer view, a couple months out, that's fine too. BruceHooley.com, click the flooring tab in the upper right-hand corner of the page. BruceHooley.com, click the flooring tab in the upper right-hand corner of the page. The loss by Democrats nationally and right here at home is coming into clearer focus as we get further out from Tuesday's election. Let's start here in the Buckeye State, where Donald Trump won the state by 11 points. You say, how did that compare to his margin in 2016 and 2020? Because he won Ohio 3 times. Ohio used to be a swing state. Remember in, what was it, the Bush-Gore election? Ohio was Florida, back when Florida had the hanging chads. Ohio was the disputed state. Not a swing state anymore, not even close. And really, I'm going to give you some numbers here that show you that Ohio is not really a swing state anymore. Credit to Laura Bischoff, Columbus Dispatch, for putting together this extensive story on what's the future for Ohio Democrats. Hopefully the answer to that question is dire. But Trump won by 11 this time. 11. And he pulled Bernie Moreno over the finish line. He pulled 3 Republican Supreme Court justices over the finish line. Bernie Moreno didn't win by 11, but he won, and that's all that matters. We also had 2 sitting justices on the Ohio Supreme Court who were defeated by Republicans. So we now have, in the new year, 6 of the 7 justices on the Ohio Supreme Court who will be Republicans. And this is kind of a demonstration of something that our old hectoring friend Barack Obama said years ago. Elections have consequences. Ohio has for a long time been pretty red in the Ohio State House. Not just in the House and the Senate, but in the governor's mansion, for instance. 8 of our last 9 governors have been Republican. Well, I know we're counting Mike DeWine as a Republican. I thought I would mention that before you threw an asterisk at me. Over the last 30 years, Democrats have won 5 of 32 races for state executive offices, which means auditor, secretary of state, attorney general, governor. Only 5 of 32, including the Supreme Court. Now, because Democrats have not controlled the Ohio Senate since 1984, and because Democrats haven't held the Ohio House since 1994, it allowed the General Assembly back in, I think it was 2022, to help you out as a voter, right? What's the hardest thing when you go to the poll? The hardest thing is knowing, because I got a lot of texts from people, oh, who should I vote for State Board of Education? Who's the Republican and who's the Democrat? I need help. I appreciate that. I appreciate you don't just go in and say, well, I saw a yard sign for, this person, so I'm going to vote for that person. No, don't do that. Ask someone who knows. Research it yourself, find out. And I had a lot of friends who did that, and I love that because they want to be informed voters. But always when you go vote for judges, you used to I don't know who to vote. How do you, they don't like debate. They don't, hard to know. But because we control the Senate and the House in the state of Ohio, in 2022, they voted to put party labels on the judges when they run. And shocker of shockers, Ohio wants Republican justices so we can keep out the woke garbage that Democrats would love to cram down our throat as quietly as they possibly can. Democratic Party Chairwoman Liz Waters, you'll be happy to know, plans to stay on in her job until 2026. Keep up the good work, Liz. She tells the Dispatch, we don't have all the answers right now. What we know for sure is that wait, here comes the crying. Are you ready? Does anybody have a Kleenex for Liz? What we know for sure, she says, is that special interests spent hundreds of millions of dollars. We were not able to outrun the loss at the top of the ticket. Okay, special interests spent hundreds of millions of dollars. She's right on that. She just doesn't tell you who they spent it on. They spent it on Democrats. Remember when I shared with you the fundraising numbers for Sherrod Brown? And he was outraising Bernie Moreno at least 3-1, and Bernie's money came from Bernie's pocket. Remember that? Remember all the hundreds of millions of dollars that the Swiss billionaire put into issue 1, and they lost that one? Yeah, there's hundreds of millions of dollars spent, right, Liz? But it's spent on Democrats. And this one time, unlike other times, you couldn't get away and hoodwink the Ohio voter. Now, what has accounted for this shift over the last, I would say, decade? Well, what has happened is that counties, and I'm not just talking about, obviously, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Dayton, and Columbus are stinkholes of Democratic nonsense. I drove out to meet a wonderful, wonderful guy, Lee, and his delightful daughter, Monica, the other day, who were looking for new flooring. And I'm driving through, I guess it's kind of Clintonville-ish. It's Carl Road in the Northland Mall area, maybe, not like right along 71. And you can tell it used to be a really, really nice neighborhood, and maybe has declined a little bit. But the streets were lined with Harris Wall signs, with Sherrod Brown signs, with Yes on One signs. So those areas are always going to be reliably Democrat. But they've lost the Youngstown, Trumbull County. They've lost that corridor. They've lost that because manufacturing has declined, and manufacturing has declined on the watch of Sherrod Brown, and because those people are hurting. We all got a glimpse into it, didn't we, with the train derailment in East Palestine? Good, hardworking people. Exit polls showed 34% of the people in counties stretching from Youngstown to Portsmouth listed the economy as their top issue. 34%. So a third of them, okay? A third of the people who live right down there along the river and going up the eastern border of the state of Ohio. A third of them said the economy was their number one issue. 80% of them voted for Trump. 80%. Now, trivia question, class. Who was the last Democratic governor in the state of Ohio? That would be Ted Strickland, 18 years ago. And he says the reason Democrats are losing is because conservatives have focused on divisive social issues for the past 10 to 15 years. He says, I think conservatism took over a Republican Party that has become increasingly extreme over several election cycles and penetrated the thinking of Ohioans. Extremely extreme, he says. You know, we're accused of fighting the culture war on the Republican side. We're not fighting the culture war. We're not on offense in the culture war. We're on defense in the culture war. We want you out of our lives. We want you out of our kids' lives. We want to parent our kids. We're fighting the culture war. We're just fighting it on defense, and we're winning it.
To rage in Ventura County, California, northwest of Los Angeles. Fire now about 7% contained. It's a job of great importance to the president, and under Donald Trump, it will go to a woman for the first time in U.S. history. Mr. Trump's campaign manager, Susie Wiles, will be the White House chief of staff. A 13-year-old boy who police say had researched school shootings online is in custody for allegedly trying to enter a Kenosha, Wisconsin elementary school while armed. Republican Dave McCormick has declared victory. The U.S. Senate race in Pennsylvania. It will be a Republican-led U.S. Senate. Republicans, meanwhile, moving closer to holding on to the leadership of the House. Wall Street, the Dow's up 317 points. The NASDAQ is down 2 points. More details, srnnews.com.
This year, I've given you so many reasons to try Balance of Nature, but I've got one now that you cannot ignore. Let's review some of the other reasons. First, with Balance of Nature, you get a product made from whole fruits and vegetable ingredients. Second, they can provide you with so many of the things you may be missing. Third, it could be just what you've been looking for to make you feel better. And of course, I take them daily. I think you'll agree this reason trumps them all. During November, with my special promo code, you'll get their Black Friday savings all month long. Use my discount code MikeG and sign up as a new customer to get 50% off, free shipping, plus a free fiber and spice supplement. This is an unbelievable discount, but you got to use my discount code MikeG. Give them a call, 800-246-8751, and use the discount code MikeG or order online at balanceofnature.com. Use the discount code MikeG to get 50% off, plus a free fiber and spice supplement from...
He knows firsthand what it's like to live under communism. That's why he'll boldly tell you that America truly is the shining city on the hill. He's Sebastian Gorka, and he's on America First, weekday afternoons from 3 to 5 on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Few understand the impact this election may have on their retirement savings. In less than 30 days, our entire economy could face a monumental shift that could destroy a huge amount of value many Americans have stored in their 401ks or IRAs. In times like these, the most trusted store of wealth in human history stands out: physical gold and silver. Many Americans have looked to True Gold Republic for help. They specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other retirement accounts convert their stocks and bonds into physical gold and silver to protect their hard-earned savings. True Gold is offering listeners a free copy of their Election Gold Protection Kit today. To claim yours, call 800-300-GOLD. This information is free and might very well save your comfortable retirement. By acting before the election, you can still make a tax and penalty-free conversion with the help of True Gold's award-winning team. Call 800-300-GOLD. That's 800-300-GOLD. True Gold Republic is not a financial advisor. Consult with your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-300-GOLD.
When it comes to safety, don't settle for anything less than the best. At Elite Fire Services, we protect what matters most: your business and your peace of mind. Our expert team provides top-notch fire safety inspections, and we service fire extinguishers, fire sprinkler systems, backflow preventers, fire alarms, kitchen hood suppression systems, and exit lighting. Visit elitefire.org today to get a free quote and ensure your fire safety is in elite hands. Because when it comes to protection, you deserve the best. Elite Fire Services, your safety is our mission. News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
Make 989theanswer.com for all things research on conservative topics, not just talk, but also saving money. The Discount Shopping Club is there. Great deals in the Discount Shopping Club. You click on more and find your way to the Discount Shopping Club. You're probably going to save half on whatever it is that you're looking for. Speaking of savings, we give away tickets frequently to events in and around Columbus. I have told you before that TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, is coming to Nationwide Arena on December the 26th. You can buy tickets. I'm sure they'd be happy if you did. They'd love to have you in the house and you'd enjoy the show. But you could win one of the 10 pairs of tickets that we're giving away by registering at 989theanswer.com. And if you ever miss a show, whether it's my show or Hugh Hewitt, Mike Gallagher, Seb Gorka, Charlie Kirk, Larry Elder's on at night, maybe you're busy, can't listen to Larry Elder. Well, you can on your way to work. Access the podcast. All the podcasts of all the shows are at 989theanswer.com. You are probably familiar with the name Nostradamus. Nostradamus was supposedly able to tell the future, right? And there have been people over time who have made quite the living at predicting the future. Back in the day, Gene Dixon and others. Well, the guy you're going to hear from now is not Nostradamus. In fact, I would say that would be a good name for Rick Wilson of the Lincoln Project, not Stradamus, because Rick Wilson's pre-election prediction, let's just say, did not come true. You will soon be able to count the ways in which Rick Wilson's pre-election prediction did not come true. But first, you probably go, well, who is this Rick Wilson knucklehead? Okay, so short introduction to Rick Wilson. He's with the Lincoln Project. Now, the Lincoln Project is one of these pure conservative-minded, think tank places that they're just the people who have joined the conservative movement, the people like my friends Bill and Joyce in Delaware, the other people that, go to Trump rallies, the people that wear Trump hats. They're not the people with, big college degrees like Rick Wilson and George Will and Bill Kristol and Jonah Goldberg and people like this. They're not their kind of people. And Donald Trump is not their kind of people. And so Rick Wilson and the Lincoln Project, their conservative principles are just too pure to include Donald Trump and all of Donald Trump's vermin fans. In fact, Rick Wilson and the Lincoln Project and Bill Kristol and George Will and a lot of others probably agree that Donald Trump's followers are garbage. And we know that from the things Rick Wilson has said before. Here he is in a quick snippet just to reintroduce you to him. You'll probably remember him when I play this for you. Speaking to the Republican ruling class when Donald Trump began to rise to power as the leader of the Republican Party.
And the donor class can't just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, they'll all work itself out. They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. And that's a fact.
The donor class is going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. Yeah, that sounds bad. Yeah. Well, this sounds even worse. Here was Rick Wilson on CNN. You might remember this infamous clip where he and Don Lemon, so it's been a while ago since Don Lemon got fired at CNN. Rick Wilson, Don Lemon, and some like-minded egghead from NPR were laughing about the stupidity of Trump supporters.
The credulous boomer Rube demo that backs Donald Trump, that wants to think that Donald Trump's a smart one, and y'all elitist are them.
You elitist with your geography and your maps and your spelling. Even though my
math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading, your geography, knowing other countries, sipping your latte.
All those lines on the map.
Oh, we're just so funny, aren't we? We're just us boomer rubes. We're just so funny to people like Rick Wilson and the Lincoln Project and Jonah Goldberg and some people at the National Review too. Now, so Rick Wilson, smart guy, obviously smart, but smarter than you, smarter than me. He wasn't afraid to come right out with his prediction for the presidential election. Here he is in I presume it was a train station, maybe it was an airport in Philadelphia, the day before the election. I just discovered this morning online. There's two parts to it. Let's listen, and I presume you're familiar with the results of the election. Let's see how close Rick came in his prediction.
I have a couple of things to think about for tomorrow, everybody. Number one, Trump's going to lose. He's going to lose badly. He's going to be wrecked. I don't know what the electoral college count's going to be at the end of this, but it's going to get loud and it's going to get hard for him. Their panic is extraordinary. Their events in Georgia and North Carolina are basically about as well attended as a Pokemon card trading convention in Alabama. This is a campaign in free fall. Donald Trump is now in the same position that he described Hillary Clinton in 2016. He's weak. He can't finish a sentence. He's sick. He's meandering. He's probably dying at this point. His party is splitting apart. Yes, you MAGAs, I know MAGAs, I know. You guys are so intense. You believe everything that he says, every word that comes out of his mouth. I get it that you believe that. But guess what? He's been lying to you all along about a lot of things, and you're about to realize it tomorrow.
Where's Daniel Dale or PolitiFact when I need them? Well, let's fact check that, shall we? Donald Trump's going to lose badly. He's going to be wrecked. There's panic in the Trump campaign. Trump is weak and sick and he can't finish his sentence. I don't know. I stayed up till 3:30. He looked at me like he was getting through his acceptance speech just fine. Rick wasn't done. It went on 4 minutes total. I'm not going to bore you with all of it, but I mean, come on. You're enjoying it as much as I am, aren't you?
You got a campaign ending in chaos. You got another campaign that was able to deploy 90,000 volunteers to knock on 3 million doors. Guys, the better campaign is going to win this one.
True.
Now, I want to say something to you, Donald, and your little minions, and your whole enabling class of the sort of MAGA influencer class.
That's us.
Donald, if you try to steal this election tomorrow, and we know you're gonna try, I promise you one thing. You will die in prison alone. Your family will be broken. Every property you've ever owned will be taken from you because you will be violating the law. You will be breaking every possible law when it regards elections. You're going to do it. I know you're going to do it.
Sounds bad.
So your chance of dying in prison is going to go way up if you do what you think you're gonna get away with. It's not going to work this time. It's just not.
Want to bet?
So don't try to do it. You're going to try to do it. We get it. But your campaign's falling apart. Your money's dried up. That's going to be really tough on you to have to defend against more lawsuits when you're not going to have the money spigot that you've had while you were running for president. You're going to be it's going to be very tough now. I'd be super careful if I were you. I think really hard about the fantasies some of these jackoffs around you are selling you. And I think really hard about some of the that you're selling yourself.
Fact check false. All of that. Fact check false. Yeah. Instead, you're a stupid political pundit. Here's the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, abortion was going to carry Kamala Harris over the finish line. Trump won with women 52-47. Harris did worse. Harris did worse with women than Joe Biden. Among young voters, age 18 to 29, Biden won them by 26 points in 2020. Kamala Harris won by 6. Ooh, that's underperforming. Trump got a historically high 20% of the male black vote, 46% of the Hispanic vote overall, 40% of Jews in swing states. Even in the states he lost, you can see the gains the Republican Party has made because they speak to the real issues of people. They don't group them by ethnicity or sex or some other perceived immutable characteristic. In Illinois, Biden won by 17 in 2020. Trump lost by only 8. Biden won by 23 in 2020. Trump lost New York this time by only 11. He cut it more than in half. And in New Jersey, Trump lost by 16 in 2020. He lost by 5 in 2024. Did you ever think you'd see the day where New Jersey might become a swing state right there next to New York City? It's now a swing state. New Jersey is. It's in play for 2028 with J.D. Vance likely running at the top of the Republican ticket. So, hey, Democrats, well done. Keep doing what you're doing. And Rick Wilson, stay at it, brother.
For the afternoon, high today 64, clear tonight, low 41. Some sun, then increasing cloudiness. Nice afternoon for some football tomorrow. A high Saturday at 59. Periods of rain Saturday night, low 50. And then rain on Sunday, the high at 63. Partly sunny for Monday, high Monday at 59. And in Tuesday, times of clouds and sun, a little bit cooler, high 55. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Look, life takes a toll on our bodies. There's no way around it, whether it's sitting hours on end at the computer, maybe in front of a microphone or a camera, working a physical job. Look, over time, our body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. I've been telling you about them for years. Relief Factor. The good news is Relief Factor has a 3-week quick start that's just $19.95. Developed by a team of doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. It's 100% drug-free. Hey, if the pain is that comes with living a full life are affecting you, do what so many others have done. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. I did it. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. Take it out for a test drive. $19.95, that's the 3-week quick start. Visit relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF. Try it for yourself. Relief Factor.
Hey everyone, Charlie Kirk here. Did you know that 80% of adults take supplements to feel our best, right? One thing your dog can't do without you is improve their diet or health to feel their best. That's why I believe Rough Greens could dramatically help your best friend by adding what's missing to their diet like you do. Rough Greens is helping thousands of dogs feel better and live longer, including my dog who loves it. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who created Rough Greens, is also an airborne ranger and Green Beret, an amazing background. He loves dogs, and he's on a mission to help as many as he can. Listen carefully, dog food is dead food. Rough Greens supplements your dog's food with essential vitamins and minerals, omega oils, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and antioxidants. Dr. Black is offering a free Jumpstart trial bag to get back their energy, improve elimination, and get rid of itching, scratching, achy joints, and bad breath. That's your free Jumpstart trial bag. Just cover shipping. Don't change your dog's food. Just add Rough Greens today. That is ruffgreens.com/Kirk. And naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, to check it out. And if you are a cat owner, check out Meow Greens. That's all you can find at ruffgreens.com/Kirk.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call now at 800-533-6605 for a free consultation. For 17 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a Christian-owned company. Don't get stuck in the endless cycle of payments. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Christian-owned Total Financial Freedom now at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605. 800-533-6605.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
No. I know what's up. Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids, where families find answers.
Weekend would be a great time to express your interest in patriotswitch.com and all the awesome products that they have available. How many products? 450 plus. And the great thing about patriotswitch.com is you don't ever have to worry about getting something that was outsourced to a company and that company made it and it just doesn't perform. No, the toothpaste, the shampoo, the mouthwash, every single thing, cleaning products, no matter what they are, the vitamins, the minerals, all of it's made by Patriot Switch. All of it. A family company that has grown over the years from 1985. They do $2 billion a year in business worldwide. They're a major company. They have 3 major manufacturing plants, all in the United States. 1 in Kansas City, 1 in Tennessee, 1 in Idaho Falls. That's the home headquarters, and that's why they can ship you everything you buy at a 35 to 50% discount when you are a member. They can ship it to you for $10.44 a month. So if you would like to get great products at a fair price and do not patronize woke capitalism, then go to patriotswitch.com/Bruce to find out more. All right, as promised, I do not want you to go into the weekend without remembering to give thanks for what we avoided with the result of the election on Tuesday night. Kamala Harris would have been a disaster as a president. She proved that in her campaign. I know people saw what they wanted to see, which was, some kind of girl boss, brat, joy, hopes, dreams, aspirations, all that other nonsense. But that is not who she was, it's not who she is, and it's not who she would have been as a leader. And to have her in charge of even the federal treasury would have been an absolute disaster. You probably heard that she raised $1 billion in 3 months to run for president. Such is the level of hatred toward Donald Trump and toward you and I, and toward the foundations of America. They want to redo America. They want to tear it down. They want to use the Justice Department to weaponize it, to force Catholic hospitals to do abortions. How long would it be? We had a dude with breasts bearing his fake breasts on the White House lawn under Joe Biden. How much worse do you think it would have been under Kamala Harris? We had Easter Sunday lauded by Joe Biden, not as Easter Sunday, but as Trans Day of Remembrance. You think that would have got better or worse under Kamala Harris? So she had $1 billion to spend on her campaign. As late as mid-October, she had $116 million in her campaign cost. They ended $20 million in debt. $20 million in debt. They dropped $654 million in advertising from July 22nd to Election Day. Trump spent $378 million, or 57% less. Okay, so over the years, Kamala has said a lot of stupid things, right? A lot of stupid things. And I've saved a lot of them. And I thought, in case you forgot how lucky we got on Tuesday, I would remind you of it right now.
My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah, I'm not lying. You know, I was the first person to be a woman Attorney General of California. I was the first woman to be elected District Attorney of San Francisco. I was the first person of color to be elected Attorney General of California.
And the most humble.
Whatever. First. Welcome to the Role Model Club. It's tough. Being a part of the Role Model Club means being in a room where sometimes you may be the only person who has had the experiences you've had. You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Equality.
Oh, here we go. Just communism.
And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more.
Yeah, socialism.
So we all end up in the same place. And as a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a bitch. Turn that off.
Sounds like Cruella de Vil.
God expects us to help him. We got work to do. We got to take this stuff seriously. As seriously. That bread costs more, the gas costs more.
Wow.
And we have to understand what that means.
We do.
That's about the cost of living going up.
But you don't understand.
That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore. You know, the power I have as a prosecutor is that with a swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with a misdemeanor, the lowest level offense possible. And by virtue of that swipe of my pen, you will have to go to a courthouse and stand in line. You will have to come out of pocket and hire an attorney. You may get arrested for a few hours. You will be embarrassed in your community. You will miss time from coming onto the Google campus. All because with the swipe of my pen, I've charged you with a crime, which I may choose to dismiss 2 weeks later. It's an incredible amount of power. I was raised as a middle-class kid.
Nope.
I grew up a middle-class kid. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. Be focusing on, again, the aspirations and the dreams, but their ambition, their aspirations, and their dreams. I intend to create an opportunity economy, creating an opportunity economy. What I'm talking about in terms of building an opportunity economy. I love Venn diagrams. Is there a Venn diagram for this? Venn diagram, those 3 circles, right? I'm telling you, it's fascinating. So Venn diagram, those 3 circles, right? And if you want to add some more circles to the Venn diagram, you know, I like Venn diagrams. Okay, so if you look, I do. So let me tell you, I love Venn diagrams. I love Venn diagrams. You know, the 3 circles. I love Venn diagrams. You're just cracking up, right? Okay. To suggest that we have to build a wall across our southern border because there are get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes. And I've, again, worked on that. We need to have Medicare for all. Who of us has not had that situation where you got to wait for approval and the doctor says, well, I don't know if your insurance company is going to cover this? Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on. It's simply wrong that we have a situation where the pharmaceutical companies have been dictating prices. Affordable health care should not be a privilege. It should be a right. We don't need to build a wall. And by definition, just plain speak, basic English language definition, it is not an emergency. So it is something that we take very seriously.
Oh, good.
Very seriously. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore. Because Bidenomics is working. It's working. We should always find times to express how we feel about the moment that is a reflection of joy, because, you know, it comes in the morning. We have to find ways to also express the way we feel about the moment in terms of just having language and a connection to how people are experiencing life. And I think about it in that way too. The border is secure. We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
On your knees, America. Say thank you.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the
right? And if you want to add some more circles to the Venn diagram, you know, I like Venn diagrams. Okay, so if you look, I do. So let me tell you, I love Venn diagrams. I love Venn diagrams. You know, the 3 circles. I love Venn diagrams. You're just cracking up.
Can't hear you.
You know, I like Venn diagrams. Okay, so if you look, I do. So let me tell you, I love Venn diagrams. I love Venn diagrams. You know, the 3 circles. I love
still good to be
Venn diagrams. You're just cracking up, right?
Yeah.
To suggest. To the Venn diagram, to suggest that we have to build a we take very seriously. By definition, just plain speak, basic English language definition, it is not an emergency. So it is something that we take very seriously. Very seriously. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore. Because Biden... My mother used to.
Stations this weekend and starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the Salem News Channel. Also at townhall.com, Susie Wiles is President-elect Donald Trump's pick as White House Chief of Staff. Wiles was co-chair of Trump's third presidential campaign, considered his most disciplined and smoothly run. She ran his 2016 and 2020 campaigns in Florida, where she also advised gubernatorial campaigns for Rick Scott and Ron DeSantis. Republicans had a big night in South Texas.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the first hour of the show. Appreciate you joining. Have a great weekend. You can switch to the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page or the 989 The Answer Facebook page to watch the second half of the show if you'd like. And we'll be back Monday on my own personal social channels with hour number 1 of the show. So have a good one.